We asked our good friend ChatGPT to design locomotives and to be creative, and it clearly doesn't understand railroads, physics, or reality. So here are the top 5 most absurd AI locomotive designs ChatGPT gave us. Now prepare for a dose of mechanical nonsense. Talk about gaudy. ChatGPT didn't just design a locomotive, it designed a financial statement on rails. Gold-plated bodywork, jewel-encrusted trucks. Even the front emblem looks like it belongs in the Tower of London. At this point, I'm not sure if this is meant to haul freight or host a royal coronation down the main line. And honestly, if this showed up in an actual rail yard, I wouldn't be worried about copper wire thieves. I'd be more worried about an Ocean's 11 type diamond heist. Alright, so after the luxury railroad yacht we just saw, ChatGPT decided to go in a completely different direction. Apparently, ChatGPT confused trucks with truck bed, and this happened. So now we've got a full pickup-style rear-end, roll bar, KC lights, like this thing is ready to leave the yard and head straight to a mud pit instead of a main line. And what about those KC lights? Because clearly, every locomotive needs KC lights from the lifted truck aisle at your local AutoZone. At this point, it's not a locomotive design. It's a lifted diesel-powered Dodge Ram with track privileges. Wow. ChatGPT has taken a modern freight locomotive and somehow fitted it with a 484 steam locomotive wheel arrangement, which immediately raises a few questions. No visible firebox, no smokestack. I'm guessing this one just runs on clean diesel and blue def. So at this point, I'm not sure if this is a locomotive or just steam-era cosplay with modern locomotive ambitions. If you trace the rods through this thing, it looks like ChatGPT built it by selecting every locomotive part from some Temu drop-down menu. No clear path, no clear logic, just mechanical optimism. More like all looks, no glory. Now this one. Not sure where ChatGPT got its inspiration from for this rail rat rod. Tons of chrome everywhere, twin turbos, possibly a blower with a huge carburetor. This thing looks less like a switcher and more like it should be parked outside a 1950s diner on cruise night. And mechanically, I have some concerns. For starters, it's supposedly a V8, but I only see 3 exhaust headers on this side, which mathematically feels a bit off. Then there's that side rod, which appears to connect to absolutely nothing. So I'm pretty sure it's just there to impress. And let's be honest, if this actually existed, I'd absolutely drive it around the yard.
And now for number 1.
And finally, we have to give ChatGPT some credit here. Because somehow, against all odds, it actually created something believable. This design merges steam and diesel locomotive styling into one surprisingly cohesive machine. At first glance, it looks like a traditional steam locomotive, but hidden inside that streamlined boiler casing is a modern prime mover. And honestly, it could have fooled me. Unlike some of the earlier designs that looked one hard throttle notch away from catastrophic failure, this one actually feels functional. The proportions work. The running gear makes sense. And somehow it manages to blend classic steam-era presence with modern diesel practicality. This feels less like a confused AI experiment and more like an alternate timeline where railroads never fully gave up on steam locomotive aesthetics. You could actually imagine this thing hauling executive passengers, museum excursions, or high-end tourist trains through mountain territory while turning heads everywhere it goes. And let's be honest, if a railroad unveiled this tomorrow, rail fans would lose their minds. Or would they? Comment below if you would lose your mind.
And now for honorary mentions.
Please support us and share.